Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Kev, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm spotlighting a very special overdrive from a pedal manufacturer that I think is seriously underrated and deserves more attention. The Hippie Drive from BLAMMO Electronics. Now, this isn't just another boutique overdrive. This is a meticulously accurate clone of the legendary Hermida Audio Zendrive. It's built with the correct AD712 dual-channel JFET-input op-amp and is one of only a small handful of units made by Dan Adamson at BLAMMO Electronics. If you're into expressive, touch-sensitive overdrive tones that feel alive under your fingers, this pedal is something special. Let's go ahead and get into it. Before we dive into the Hippie Drive, a quick little bit of housekeeping. If you're a guitarist, musician, or you just love nerding out on gear, subscribe to the channel below and ring the bell so you're notified the next time I drop a video. It helps support the channel, keeps me doing what I'm doing, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys. What you heard at the top of the video was a 1-minute performance track using 5 different Hippie Drive tones in the context of an original mix. Later in the video, I'll break those tones down in isolation, explain how I dialed them in, and why they worked so well in the context of the song. But first, before we go any further, we need to talk about the pedal that the Hippie Drive is based on, and why it's such a big deal. The Hermida Audio Zendrive is one of the most iconic and influential overdrive pedals ever made. Designed by Alfonso Hermida, the Zendrive became famous for delivering a smooth, vocal, and incredibly dynamic overdrive that many players associate with classic Dumble-style amp tones, but in a pedal format. What made the Zendrive stand out wasn't raw gain or aggression, it was the feel. The pedal responds incredibly well to picking dynamics, guitar volume changes, and subtle variations in touch. It doesn't flatten your tone in any way, it amplifies your playing. And because of that, the Zendrive became a go-to pedal for players who wanted singing lead tones, thick but articulate rhythm sounds, and overdrive that stayed musical in a band mix. Over the years, the Zendrive has been used and popularized by a number of notable players, including Robin Ford, whose smooth, expressive lead tone helped define the Dumble-style sound, Larry Carlton, another legendary player known for their articulate, nuanced overdrive tone, Joe Bonamassa, who helped introduce the Zendrive to a wider modern audience, and countless session and touring guitarists who need consistency, feel, and touch sensitivity night after night. Because original Zendrives have become harder to find and more expensive over time, the circuit itself has taken on an almost mythical status, which brings us to the Hippie Drive. The Hippie Drive is BLAMMO Electronics' faithful recreation of the Hermida Audio Zendrive. This isn't a loose, inspired by pedal. It uses the Zendrive-correct AD712 dual-channel, high-speed JFET-input op-amp, which is a huge part of the circuit's smooth clipping, harmonic response, and dynamic feel. And this pedal was built as part of an extremely limited run of units, all hand-assembled by Dan Adamson. So what you're getting here is a legendary circuit with correct, period-accurate components and true boutique small batch craftsmanship. From a build quality standpoint, this pedal is exactly what you'd expect from BLAMMO. Clean layout, premium components, solid jacks and foot switch, and a rugged enclosure that feels like it can really handle real-world use. This is definitely a pedal that's built to be gigged, recorded, and relied on, not babied. Just like the original Zendrive, the Hippie Drive has 4 controls. The volume knob controls the overall output level, and there's plenty of volume available to push an amp if needed. The drive control sets the amount of overdrive, from subtle breakup to smooth, sustaining lead tones. The tone acts as a high-cut filter, which is similar in concept to a tube screamer, but it's most effective when paired with the voice control. And the voice knob is kind of the defining control of the Zendrive or the Hippie Drive. It shapes the pedal's low end and gain structure. So when turned counterclockwise, you get lower gain, more low end, and a thicker tone, and when turned clockwise, you get more gain, reduced low end, and more mids and highs, which is great for cutting through a mix. The real magic happens when you balance the voice and drive knobs together. Now let's take a closer look at the same 5 tones you heard in the performance track at the top of the video, but this time in isolation so you can really hear what the Hippie Drive is doing in more detail. One quick note before we start, the volume control is set the same for all 5 tones, right around 1 o'clock. So any changes you're hearing are coming from the drive, tone, voice controls, and the guitar itself, not any level changes or amplifier adjustments. The first sound is what I'm calling the main Strat riff tone. Here, the drive is set just a little bit below 12 o'clock, giving me a healthy amount of overdrive without things getting overly compressed. The tone control is dialed back slightly to around 11 o'clock, which keeps the top end smooth and avoids anything strident. And the voice knob is pushed up a little bit, sitting between 1 and 2 o'clock, which tightens up the low end and keeps the riff focused. This is a really balanced, articulate overdrive tone that works perfectly as a main rhythm sound. It's dynamic, punchy, and super responsive to touch. Next up is the A section melody line tone. For this sound, I pushed the drive much further, just below 3 o'clock, to add sustain and attitude. The tone control is turned up a bit as well to about 2 o'clock, which brightens the sound and helps the melody line cut through the mix. To balance that out though, the voice control is dialed back slightly to around 12 o'clock, which tames the drive just a little bit and adds some low end back in. The result is a tone that really cuts, has character and edge, but still stays smooth and musical. It's never harsh or spiky. Tone number 3 is the B section rhythm sound. Now, on paper, the pedal settings are fairly similar to the main Strat riff tone. The drive is set to around 11 o'clock, the voice is at about 1 o'clock, and the tone is right at noon. The big difference here is actually the guitar. I'm using pickup position 4 on the Strat, combining the neck and middle pickups. So even with similar pedal settings, the tone is noticeably different. It's clearer, more open, and slightly lower gain, which really shows how the Hippie Drive responds to a lower output pickup combination. This is a great example of how the pedal reacts to your guitar rather than forcing everything into the same sound. Tone number 4 is the Strat solo tone, and this one features the most drive of all the Strat sounds. The drive knob is set between 4 and 5 o'clock with both the tone and voice controls set just above noon. Paired with the middle pickup on the Strat, this creates a really smooth vocal lead tone. It's full and bright with plenty of sustain, but the high end never gets harsh or brittle. This is that classic singing, expressive Zendrive-style lead sound where the pedal feels like an extension of your hands rather than a separate effect. And finally, this is the Kenai solo tone, which really highlights how versatile the Hippie Drive is. For this sound, the tone control is dialed back to around 10 or 11 o'clock, showcasing how smooth the pedal can stay when paired with a bridge humbucker. The drive is back down compared to the Strat solo tone, sitting between 2 and 3 o'clock, but the higher output bridge humbucker is pushing the pedal harder. So because of that, the sound is actually more saturated and overdriven than the Strat solo tone, even with less gain dialed on the pedal. To balance the naturally brighter bridge pickup, the voice knob is dialed back to around 11 o'clock, adding more low end and body. This tone really shows how well the Hippie Drive adapts across different guitars and pickup types. All 5 of these tones came from the same pedal with the same output level and relatively small adjustments. And that flexibility and responsiveness is exactly what makes a great Zendrive-style overdrive so special. Quick little pro tip. One thing that longtime Zendrive players frequently mention is that this pedal really shines at lower drive settings. Many people find a sweet spot with the drive set at around 9 to 12 o'clock, using the voice control to fine-tune thickness and cut. This pedal, as we've said, is incredibly responsive to your picking attack, your guitar's volume knob, and how hard you dig in. So it really rewards nuance and touch more than brute force. I also want to highlight BLAMMO Electronics as a company. I first learned about BLAMMO from Chuck Treese, the drummer for G-Love and Special Sauce, while we were on tour with them back in the summer of 2023. In addition to being a kick-ass drummer, Chuck is also a great guitarist and bassist, and had a handful of BLAMMO pedals with him when we were on the road that he let me check out. And I was really blown away by the tonal and build quality of all of them. So naturally, I had to get my hands on a couple of BLAMMO pedals for myself. BLAMMO is a boutique builder based in Portland, Oregon, focused on hand-built pedals using premium components. Their pedals are often inspired by classic circuits, but are crafted with impeccable care and attention to detail. They don't chase trends. They build pedals because they genuinely love the sounds and the history behind them. In my opinion, BLAMMO is seriously underrated and absolutely a brand players should keep an eye on as their product lineup continues to grow. The Hippie Drive delivers everything that made the Zendrive legendary: smoothness, dynamics, expressiveness, and of course feel. And while there are only a handful of these Hippie Drives out there in the wild, I hope this video turned you on to a new amazing pedal brand that you might not have been aware of before. And hey, maybe after this video, Dan will make another batch of Hippie Drives. Come on, Dan, do it. If you've ever played a Zendrive or this Hippie Drive, drop a comment and tell me what you loved about it or why it didn't click for you. And if you've got an underrated pedal brand or overdrive that you think deserves more love, put that in the comments as well. Bonus points if it's something most people haven't heard of. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more tone deep dives like this. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.